Just wanted to do a quick little video on these two bikes. Leading into me upgrading from the Triple X to the Triple X Pro, I was trying to do, a bit of research to see what the differences were. Because in the Canadian market, our base Triple X was largely the same as the Pro anyways. So since I've got both bikes here, I just kind of wanted to do a video to actually show you what some of the differences were that I didn't even know about, that I couldn't find any information on before I bought the bike. So the X3 came with the MX5 style headlight in Canada. So we didn't have that big chunky plastic thing like you guys had in the States. So obviously one of the changes on the Pro is this 3-light headlight with the on and off switch. One of the interesting things I noticed is actually the seat. So if you look at the base Triple X, you've sort of got these rounded edges on the seat. When you look at the Pro, you've got this sort of contoured edge on the seat. So it does fit a little bit better when you're sitting on it. It's a little more natural feeling. The seat is also firmer than the Triple X Pro, than the base Triple X, which is interesting. This is a lot softer. One of the other things is the spokes. So the base Triple X comes with the silver spokes, and the Triple X Pro comes with the black spokes. Then we've got the rear sprocket. So the rear sprocket is also black, whereas on the Triple X it's just silver. Of course, you've got the rear suspension, the linkage upgrade. My Triple X came with adjustable rebound, but this one here doesn't actually turn. It doesn't do anything. The Pro has the adjustable rebound, but it's also got a preload adjustment, which I find interesting. You get the color screen, of course. I will say, I've always been a big advocate of the Triple X. I think, for the money, there's no better bike on the market. Unless you're into hardcore enduro stuff, there's really no point of having, a bigger, beastier bike. But the Triple X Pro, when you sit on it and you feel that rear suspension versus the base Triple X, what a difference. Genuinely, the bike is perfect. I love the Triple X Pro. Yeah, those are a few differences that I noticed that I couldn't really find any info about online. So just wanted to point them out. So you got the difference in the rear spokes and the rear sprocket. Both go from silver to black. You've got the contoured, firmer seat on the Pro versus the rounder seat on the base model. We go from the MX5 style headlight in Canada to the 3 LED headlight. I kind of like the MX5 style more, to be honest. I do like the improvement of the kill switch being built in on the Triple X Pro. Then you got the suspension upgrade where you can actually adjust the preload instead of just the rebound, versus on the Triple X we can only adjust the rebound and we can't adjust the preload. One of the biggest things on the Triple X Pro that I've somehow forgot to mention is whenever I was riding this Triple X, I always found that if you were in sport mode, it was super snappy. So the throttle from here to I don't know, maybe a quarter of a turn was dead in sport mode. And then once you just notched it a little bit past that quarter turn, it would kick in full tilt. So there was no in between. So if you're trying to just kind of drive casually in sport mode, it was super jumpy and not smooth. The throttle curve on this has been improved dramatically. You can actually drive in sport mode now. You can slowly throttle and the bike will slowly accelerate. And I have not seen anybody talk about the throttle curve. I think that's probably, outside of the linkage, that improved throttle curve on the base model of bike without having to get a new controller or anything like that. And tune it yourself. That's such a giant improvement, and I've not heard anybody talk about it. A lot of these videos comparing these two bikes are oh yeah, my buddy has a Triple X and I just bought the Triple X Pro, so let's look at the differences between them. But I own both bikes. I've got thousands of kilometers on the two of them at this point. I can tell you what the differences are from somebody who owns both of them. And I can tell you that for the extra couple $100 for the Triple X Pro, you'd be stupid to buy the base Triple X. Cool. I hope this video helps someone. Peace.